Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern, and at the request of Patreon subscriber SuperGub, I am playing Jeskai Control with Isochron Scepter. Scepter Control is a deck that has inspired many Magic the Gathering players since Isochron Scepter came out back in, I believe, 03, maybe late 02. 20 years of Isochron Scepter inspiring deck building. 2-mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile an instant card with mana value 2 or less from your hand, and then 2 tap, copy the exiled card, cast it without paying its mana cost. The classic combo with this is Orym's Chant, which is a spell that when you cast it, your opponent can't cast spells this turn, and if you pay the kicker cost, they can't attack either. Classic Scepter Chant. Every upkeep, you make your opponent unable to attack or cast spells, which makes it hard to win the game. Orym's Chant, not legal in Modern, though. So what have we done with this? SuperGub and I did have a session working on this deck together. It came in a state where it was really trying to stick Isochron Scepter, then win with it somehow. And in the interest of responsible deck building in the hyper-fast, hyper-busted Modern format, I encouraged a rebalance where we're basically just a respectable Jeskai Control deck, and then sometimes Isochron Scepter puts a very good card under it. The difference being the mono Isochron Scepter, 4 copies of it, just a bunch of silly instants. Like, you invest 2 mana into this and it hasn't done anything yet. 2 mana and 2 cards. Then you need another 2 mana before it casts 1 spell. And you need to activate it twice before you get 2 cards out of it. And that's a 6 mana thing. 6 mana and 2 cards in Modern. The game's probably over a lot of the time. I don't think shoving Isochron Scepter on turn 2 is going to win most matchups. So what we did is just put a bunch of cards in that would be happy to cast anyway. Lightning Helix, Lightning Bolt, Path to Exile, Counterspell. All of these are cards that see play in Modern. The one kind of creative thing we did, of course, there's 1 copy of Silence, which is half of Orym's Chant, arguably the better half, depending on the board state. But there is a small Scepter Chant homage here. But Azorius Charm is the tech card that really is only in the deck because Isochron Scepter is. Creatures you control gain lifelink, or draw a card, or put target attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. We really wanted a card that could go under Isochron Scepter that just said draw a card on it. But putting, like, Consider under Isochron Scepter, not really good enough. The fact that Azorius Charm can help you stabilize the board and then also start pulling you ahead once you are stable, it's just a really cool thing to put under a Scepter. Outside of that, and we got counterspells, we got removal, we got burn, we got card advantage, we got planeswalkers at the top end. You've seen Jeskai Control decks before. That's what's happening. And then there's just the extra spice of Isochron Scepter with a couple cool things to do with it. And that's the deck. That's the plan. Let's make it happen. This is SuperGub Scepter Control. I'm on the draw in round 1 with a hand that hits its land drops and sees more cards. I'm in for it. We even have the fun of Silence. Let's hope it's good in whatever matchup we're in. Street Wraith kicking us off. Could be Living End, could be Death Shadow. I think those are the 2 decks that play Street Wraith. A Swamp. Okay. And a Grief pitching Troll of Khazad-dûm. All of these cards are certainly in Living End, which is kind of a bummer that I'm getting griefed because Silence is actually the nutters against Living End. If you respond to a Cascade trigger with Silence, they can't cast the thing they cascade into. This could be some like mono black shadow deck, but I'm not really sure where we're going with it, if that's the plan. All right. We are scamming, sure. Just a little troll scam. I imagine we're going to lose Leyline Binding here, yeah. Because that can answer the grief on turn 2, and then all of this didn't do anything. Oh, speaking of answering the grief, I'm just going to zap this off right now. Gotta check what lands are in my deck. Make sure I don't use my fetch incorrectly here. There's a Sacred Foundry, a Steam Vents, and a Rockman Triome. Triome doesn't help here. Okay, I'm gonna get Steam Vents and light this thing up. It is a 4/3 at the current moment. Zap, zap, just hit it now before they can scam it again. Cool. Deck full of removal. You love to see it. That ended up being a 3/3. They had Grief, the card they pitched, and Feign Death, and they took 2 cards, and then I lightning bolted their thing. Haywire Might, that makes me think this is an Urza Saga deck, some sort of Saga scam. And Haywire Might lines up extremely well against this Isochron Scepter I just drew. Hate that for me. I'm going to go with a Preordain here. I usually want to fetch before I Preordain. I'm actually bottoming both these Teferis. And just hoping they're not actually a Cascade deck of any kind. Okay, found a land to play. Neat. Got off the hook. Normally I like fetching before I Preordain, because if you bottom 2 cards, that means you don't want them, and shuffling them right back into the pool of cards you could draw. Not ideal. But I Preordained first because I wasn't sure what colors I'd need. Do I need mana this turn? Do I shock in Hallowed Fountain just in case I draw something relevant? Do I go for a tap land before the Preordain? Then what if I draw a 1-drop? What if I want to Preordain again this turn? You know what I'm saying. A Deserted Beach enters battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. I happen to have those. Zagoth Triome is mostly here to turn on Leyline Binding. I'm going to tap that. Leaving up red is actually better. Just fearlessly casting cantrips into Orcish Bowmasters. No respect at all. Bottom Hallowed Fountain, top Memory Deluge. And at no point since drawing this Isochron Scepter have I had a card that could be imprinted by it. Opponent seems to be petering out over there, or at least have been for a little bit. I don't know if they're missing green. I don't know if they're missing just any action at all. They had opportunity to Bowmaster my Preordain last turn, and that didn't happen, which I'm grateful for. Cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm. Would not be surprised to see an Overgrown Tomb here. Yep, there it is. Okay, are you like some Tarmogoyf deck, or is this really just for Haywire Might? Persisting Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay, got a little Reanimator action. Unfortunately, I am not able to interact with that at this time. There is 4 Teferi Time Ravelers in this deck. I did bottom some of them earlier, because I wasn't ready for them. I didn't have my 3rd land locked up in a way that I was happy with. I'm deciding right now if I want Rockman Triome or Hallowed Fountain. Because Triome, with Lorien Revealed, yeah, I'm going to want 5 mana and beyond. Memory Deluge flashes back for 7. Yeah. I'm not playing to a world where I'm cycling Triome. Oh no. I mean, obviously, Isochron Scepter, kind of a... There's a reason it's not in decks. It is just unfortunate that we are immediately drawing 2 of them without a single card to imprint to it. I get to Deluge at the end of this turn. I'm taking a big smash down to 8 right now. End step Deluge. Counterspell and Lightning Bolt. Land Lorien Revealed. If I draw 3 cards here, which actually seems great, I think I need the land. And I'm already holding 1 Lorien Revealed. They crack me again, I'm at 2. I do have enough mana. If I take the land and the bolt, I can just play my land, play Isochron Scepter, imprint bolt, bolt Haywire Might. I don't even like that. I think I want the Counterspell. I just got to plan for a world where I get kind of lucky to answer the troll here. There we go. See? I told you. Just play to the world where you might get lucky. Zagoth Triome does not make white or red, which are the colors that my deck is, so I'm going to continue tapping that. Send this troll out of here. And it gets them land number 4, but I did my job here. Cool. Now I have Leyline Binding or Counterspell up as needed. Teferi's going to die, but he did his job. Immediately cycling their troll. Wonder if we're going to see a Shieldred or what's coming down next. I hope we don't see a Thrun. No version of Thrun would make me happy right now. I know that seems like kind of a random card, but I know these rock decks in Modern's history have done some Thrun stuff before. Hard cast Grief. And that's worth a counterspell to me. Put that in your graveyard, please. This leaves the shields down on Bowmaster for a turn of Revealing Lorien. Hallowed Fountain. Okay, I have a land. Let's draw 3 cards. We've reached this phase of the game. Nice. White casts Leyline Binding and casts Surge of Salvation without hurting me. I'm interested in all the aspects of that. Surge of Salvation under Isochron Scepter is not nothing on this board either against the black deck. Prevent all damage that black and/or red sources would deal to creatures you control. Yeah, that isn't just also fog. That card would be really good otherwise. It's still good, but it would be better. I'm actually deeply in the mood for... Oh, wow, you're an Asmo deck? Okay, that makes sense. We identified this was a Saga deck. Now, Oval Chase Daredevil confirms that it's an Asmoran Saga deck. Got it, okay. Anyway, I was about to say I'm deeply in the mood for an Azorius Charm. I'm going to bind this Daredevil. Let's get it out of here. 4 power creatures, not interested. And if they go for Haywire Might, I can Surge it. You and permanents you control gain Hexproof. Works for me. Another Lorien revealed. We're in the end game, kids. I actually want to fetch basic Island to cast this with before I do anything else. Here we go. Maybe I'm supposed to leave up white and I don't care about red. Yeah, I did draw another 1 mana white spell. That would have been nice to have access to. But okay, here we are. Learning the deck as we play it. As usual. Haywire Might's at least gonna attack. And if I can sneak the Surge of Salvation under the Isochron Scepter before they start doing stuff, that's actually really good. Okay, so they're just going for this right now. They want to exile this. I want to give my permanent hexproof. Pew pew. Alright, now the shields are down for Isochron Scepter to do stuff. Jace the Mind Sculptor is about to come in. This is a good spot to be. All of a sudden. Bowmaster is still kind of a concern, but I do have an answer to it, even if it's not a pretty one. Jace the Mind Sculptor. I am gonna brainstorm immediately. Wow, no Bowmaster, no problem. Put back. It's gonna be probably the 2 lands. Sacred Foundry, Hallowed Fountain. Go back. Just keep all the spells. And I could just shove Helix under Isochron Scepter right now and start the rally. I think I'd rather just hold those up for a turn, though. And then next turn, I'll feel more comfortable doing that. Maybe putting back one of the Scepters and one of the lands is a more rounded plan. I am wondering what's in their hand, though. They've had 3 or 4 cards in their hand the entire game. They've had 4 mana the last several turns. So haven't really done anything with any of it. Bone Shards. Oh, wow. Archon of Cruelty. We're in trouble. All right, well, Jace is dead here. I cannot save him with things that I have. Okay. Can they get this Archon back? Well, if they could get Archon back, I don't know that they would have killed Jace. Not convinced it actually does anything. Okay, I have 2 red sources. Hallowed Fountain tapped. I think I want to just Helix in the end step, start winning the game. Because burn is a perfectly reasonable win con in these old style. This is like a 2012 style modern deck right now. This is really interesting. Drawing Counterspell now. Oh, I can just put them both under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah. I was about to say I have to decide if I want Counterspell or Lightning Helix under the Scepter, but I actually don't. I just get it all. I guess I have to be worried about Boseiju. I'm going to put Lightning Helix under that one. And Counterspell under this one. Alright, don't Boseiju me. Here we go. We've reached the end game. As tough as these Scepters were in the early game to have to draw through, the fact that we just hit our land drops, played a bunch of Memory Deluges and Lorien Revealed. That was beautiful. Textbook control Magic the Gathering. Okay, we're playing against a Reanimator deck. That's also a scam deck. And we have strong suspicions that Azmoran and Urza Saga are in the deck. And by strong suspicions, I mean basically certain. Got a lot of stuff that could be relevant here. Stony Silence turns off the cookbooks. I have a bunch of removal anyway. Okay, I think Silence is cute and bad for this matchup. Force of Negation does not counter the things I really care about, like getting griefed early on. Like if they're going to scam me, they can grief and then take my force. So I'm not really in a hurry for that. Isochron Scepter gets bricked by my Stony Silences. Surge Rip for sure. At least one Stony. Prismatic Ending's interesting. And Hurkyl's Recall might be better. Because Herx wipes out their Saga, all the tokens it made. Any number of foods that they've made along the way. And doesn't step on my Stony, or my Isochron Scepters. I don't want the full boat of those, but I want some. That's for sure. I think leaving one Scepter in is still fair, but having bad draws against the deck that's built to rip your hand apart and then kill you quickly is a tough sell for me. Azorius Charm actually awesome in this matchup. Counterspell, great. Teferi saved me when he showed up, as he tends to do. I think I want Prismatic Ending as well. They're going to have cookbooks, they're going to have Asmos. Memory Deluge, awkward with Rest in Peace in the deck. I don't know that I can cut them. Also have 30 seconds to figure all this out. I actually think that this Teferi is mid. Not that it's bad, just that it's mid, and I can go down a little bit on them. And am I playing 61? I'm about to run out of time to figure it out. All right, 61 card deck. Too busy talking, not enough time to actually figure this out. One lander with some hate stuff. I don't think I can keep this hand. It's not even a good land. It's the land you want to draw in turn 7 when you're already winning, not the land you want to set up your opening hand. Here we go. Keep this, send Jace to the bottom. Alright, let's party. Overgrown Tomb. Grief. Pitching Street Wraith. Working their way through the Azorius Charms. Getting Malakir rebirthed. That does leave Grief as 3-2 rather than 4 power that Undying Evil would have done. There goes all of these Azorius Charms from my deck. See you later. Now let's draw a 1-mana answer to Grief and be done with this. Nope, no love. I'm going to get Hallowed Fountain here. I think taking the damage to make sure you can cast your spells is worth it in a spot this tight. These cards are awkward because they are good abstractly and good in the matchup, but neither of them answers the Grief that's already in play. I'm going to send them both. Okay, that does answer the Grief that's in play eventually. Haywire Might. Okay, that answers my answer to Grief. Cool. Counterspell. Oh, I can hold this up, and if I don't need it, I can cycle a Lorien Revealed and get a tap land. And binding the Grief is actually a problem with Haywire Might because they just get it back. Okay, so if I get Sagoth Triumph, that gives me green-black. And then I don't actually have red. I'm going to get Steam Vents with this and just hope that I'm not dead before I need red mana. Okay, Steam Vents gives me 1 mana Leyline Binding. My hand's not even good. Like, I can save 3 damage from Grief. I think the fetch land's better, though. If I just take this, I go to 5, I fetch to 4, I'm dead on board, but I don't have a better plan currently. If I can counterspell something, then fetch Rockrun Triome, that's not a bad use of my time. I could also fetch basic Cycle Lorien, or... No, I don't have enough mana for that. I was gonna say I can fetch a basic Cycle Lorien Revealed, get Rockrun Triumph, cycle that, but I'm 1 mana short of that line, so I think I'm just putting Triumph into play here. And Lorien Revealed, is this better as a land in this spot? thinning out my deck a little bit or trust my deck to deliver something, because Lurid Revealed is active next turn, I'm gonna run with it. Yo, okay. Teferi does buy me some time against Grief. If I shock in Steam Vents, I go to 2. I can bounce Grief and bind the Haywire Might, and then I get to keep Teferi. I think that's worth doing. Okay, yep. I'm going in. Teferi. Bowmaster beats me here, which is likely a card in their deck. Alright, they have it. Okay, already dead. That's fine. Yeah, that Grief just did what, 12, 15? Now I'm on the play where everything gets better. All these Surge of Salvations actually stuff an opening hand rather than just chill. I don't think I want 2 Hurkyl's Recalls in the deck. That's the 61st card that I'm going to end up cutting. These Supreme Verdicts are kind of tempting, but I have so much spot removal that I'm not really excited about that. Interacting with them cheaply is more important than interacting with them largely. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. Cool, keep. I got the Surge, I got removal, I got a rebuild in the mid game. This is what I want out of life. Land go, hide my intentions, opponent multi 5. Let's hope they just don't do anything this game. Street Wraith, sure. Tapped Overgrown Tomb, you love to see it. I think it's actually right to get Zagoth Triome here and invest in the top decks of Leyline Binding. Like, ding, got there, laid around it. I have to shock my Sacred Foundry, but I get this life. Oh no, I don't, because Zagoth Triumph doesn't cast Helix. Shit! I was so smart to play into this Leyline Binding at the expense of the 2 cards that are already in my hand. Alright, that was not a good fetch, actually. Should have just been Rockrin. Alright, I'm looking for a land in this world now. Any land will do. That one counts. I like that the planes actually cast Lightning Helix. We have not seen a Death Shadow yet in their deck. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Cycling a Troll, you got it. Getting a Swamp. Here's the Swamp. And I think I actually do fire an End-Step Helix here. No, that's crazy. Alright, never mind. I'm off it. I was thinking about like how I'm going to use my mana over the next several turns, and drawing Counterspell makes me really happy. I was thinking I'm just going to jam Deluge and try to pull ahead, but I got to spend a turn working through this Saga. So they get that thing, I zap it, and now they have to spend a turn using all their mana to pay out Saga if they want to do that, and I'm holding up Counterspell along the way. Right, is it time to get a cookbook, or where are we going with this? It is a cookbook. It looks like they've got nothing else. Zorius Charm. Alright, I'm just gonna draw a go here. And let's see what they do in the end step. Discarded an Oval Chase Daredevil. I can Leyline Binding the cookbook right now. I could also ignore cookbook because I can charm the construct. Just get rid of that. Yeah, I'm going to ignore cookbook right now. I understand that these things build up over time, but I think this is where I gotta be. Because charm kills the construct while leaving up Surge. Okay, they are doing the thing. Target this attacking or blocking creature. Didn't get Veil of Summered. Cool. Now in the end step, I can still bind the cookbook. Now I am just kind of trying to spend mana so I can get a stable board to Deluge with. And if they want to Beseiju this, that's fine. Oh, okay. I'm less happy if they Beseiju this. I'm going to wait. I only have one of these in my deck right now. I have a hand full of 2 mana interaction. I would like to Deluge and get at least one more land so I can Surge to protect the Scepter. That's what I actually need from my life. Brief. I mean, this is what Surge is for, right? And if I counter it, it's gone. I think I would rather counter it. I could also just let it resolve, cast Deluge. That seems bad though. Okay, I am going to counterspell this. Because I think saving the Surge for protecting Isochron Scepter, just putting Helix on Scepter, protecting it for 1 turn, will likely pull me way ahead. Okay, now I don't even really have exciting options. I can Deluge, try to hit a white source. That'll protect me for a turn. I could just put Helix under Scepter and bet. I don't have to activate Scepter. Yeah, that works. Okay. I'm going to put Helix under Scepter. Lightning Helix is under there. I can protect it. We're in that squeeze phase of the game where I really wish that 2 of my last 3 draws had been lands, and then we were just straight to the bank. But they haven't really put a whole lot forward. Right, I don't care about cookbooks. Not that I could stop it anyway, but that's not a resource that I care about right now. Asmo just gets helixed in the end step, even if they have it. Yeah, there's Asmo, whatever. Another cookbook, sure. Okay, I could get Besaju'd here. I think it's still worth it. Like, I'm playing around exactly Besaju right now. Helix this Asmo, get it out. Alright, now they can't Besaju me. We're free. Home free. Sick. I'm gonna rest in peace. Which will shut off most of the engines in their deck. It does make this the back half of this Memory Deluge bad, but I'm so far from that being relevant that I can't be thinking about that right now. Cool. Now I just need to make my opponent dead before I time out. I'm not really worried about that, but I am 5 minutes behind them. Just a lot of clicking involved in this deck. Another Grief. This one's going to get surged. I have an onboard answer to this forever. Multiple bolts now. I'm just going to roast this Grief. Guess I don't even have to do this. I could have just cast Memory Deluge this turn. I'm at 23. Why do I care about a Grief attacking me? Also, 3, 6, 9, 12. Not quite a 1-turn window. I had just gone face with this Helix. So I really like killing creatures for free. Okay, we've gotten our card's worth of Isochron Scepter already. Cast Lightning Helix twice. Now, if they destroy it, we are positive cards on the interaction. Another Grief, bummer. Alright, well, this one is going to take Memory Deluge, and then we're just in a Lightning Bolt race, which their foods actually put them pretty far ahead on. Yep, that's gone. I think I just bolt the Grief. The fact that they have all these foods, I would like to untap with all of my mana available on an empty board as often as possible. More Helixes. Okay. Burn Strat coming in strong. Activate Scepter. Helix your face. I'm not going to start casting spells from my hand yet. All these foods make this race kind of awful. I'm going to save this Lorien Revealed. The next land I draw is a banger, and I just get to go nuts. They're eating foods now. Got them on D. Another Grief. Do they play 36 of these? What is going on right now? Okay, I'm going to Island Cycle for a Steam Vents. Get red available at least. Grief resolves. And I'm still just going to keep the cards in my hand. They can take 3 damage out of my hand one way or the other, and then Grief dies. If I like bolt the Grief or Helix the Grief on the way through, then they get both the cards out of my hand. I think that makes sense. If I had more time on my clock, I'd do a Grief count. I think they've cast them all. Backup, rest in peace. Got him. I'm not actually going to cast that card. Jace the Mind Sculptor's in my deck somewhere. I have a Brainstorm effect. Saga, that one's actually troublesome. Oh, we're casting Trolls now. Well, glad I held on to my Bolt all these years. I'm going to Helix and Bolt the Troll. 3 damage, 5 toughness. That's how magic works. Alright, I need a Planeswalker. Little Teferi, bounce this Urza Saga. Hurkyl's Recalls completely stabilizes. Alright, guess we're chilling. I've answered the first Saga token now. We know their hand has Daredevil in it. Thoughtseize, huh? Alright, well. I'll play a Leyline Binding and clear out one of these cookbooks. Reduce their artifact count at the very least here. Took my other Rest in Peace. Going to burn them in their end step. And at this point, my life total is so preposterously high, and theirs is low enough that they might have to start eating foods to not die, and eating foods make their constructs smaller. I know they can tutor Haywire Might next turn. That's actually a big problem. I'm going to save this Deluge, I think. I don't want to have to take a land off it is the problem. Yeah, they can get stable and then start winning next turn. Okay, I'm going to pass here. Little worried, gotta find my Hercs. I think I'm going to Helix the face here. Just in case it's Pithing Needle. In Haywire Might's more likely. But I'd like one more activation if it is Needle. Alright, stupid crazy life total. Opponent doing Urza Saga stuff. They're at 5. Haywire Might does not gain them life here. Okay, Pithing Needle confirmed. Played around it. That's interesting. I guess that stays in play where Haywire Might leaves play. Just makes your construct bigger. Is that the thought process here? Okay, that Hurkyl's Recall would be great at this stage. There's a land, that's good. Now I don't have to take land. My mana does matter now, so I'm actually going to fetch a basic to leave up as much action as I can in my mana base. What am I drawing to? Herx is the best. A blue, 1. Yeah, I should leave up blue-white. The black-green doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. Leave up Steam Vents, Sacred Foundry. 4 looks at Hurkyl's Recall. Preordained Prismatic Ending. I'll take those. Preordained Prismatic Ending. Cast Preordain. Have they been sandbagging a Bowmaster? Okay, these are answers to all this stuff. Bottom, top, and I'm gonna bind one of the constructs. I think that's better than ending it, because ending can also hit Needle. Well, they could both do both, but Leyline Binding, the thing is gone. Get rid of a construct. If my life total holds up, I'm fine. Uh-oh, 6 mana, another troll. Okay. Hard mode activated. Still giant life total to work with. Deserted Beach, not helpful. I will play it, and do I think I end the construct here rather than the Needle. Just taking 12 every turn is worse than gaining 3 every turn. Okay, now it's just a top deck war. I know they have Daredevil in their hand. They can at least add another 4 power to the board. I need a Lorien revealed. I need a Planeswalker. There's Daredevil. I currently get 3 more draw steps this game if nothing else happens. Oh, ding ding. Okay. I'm gonna path on their turn. Okay, that bought me a lot of draw steps. None of their scam tricks will save them here. Deck full of removal versus deck trying to attack me from 40. Out of basics. Good stuff. Got the full exile your creature for 1 mana treatment. Discarded Thoughtseize. They must have an Asmo. That's the reason that you would discard cards here. There it is. There's 1 cookbook left in their deck. And there that is. Okay, deck. Answers to stuff. Bummer. Right past the turn. F6. Clock also at 426. Tough squeeze here. Okay, they're just gaining life with foods now. That's annoying because it makes it harder for me to win. I get 3 more draw steps this game. Or draw, I get 2 more draw steps. Okay, sick. Give me this. This bounces the Needle. Unlocks the Helix. Draws me a card. They're just cracking foods in response. Sure. Oh, hello. That's annoyingly medium. I don't think I'm in the market to brainstorm and hope I hit a land here. I'm going to kill Asmo. That card just does more than Daredevil does. Okay, hope they haven't been sandbagging a Thoughtseize. Pithing Needle, which is not going to name Jace the Mind Sculptor, because I didn't play it. Isochron Scepter. Attacking little Teferi. Haywire Might. Uh-oh. That doesn't unlock anything good. Okay, Jace. And I believe Jace should Brainstorm here. I think that my hits are better in Bowmaster is a fucking blowout, but I gotta make something happen. Okay, Jace is at 3. Let's hope they spend their Haywire Might on something. They did not. Because the way binding works is if it's gone when its trigger would resolve, it just never exiles the thing. So Haywire Might can stop this Daredevil from ever getting removed. It's actually better to hit the Pithing Needle here, because if I get a window, then I can just Helix the Devil. And none of this is going to work. Hopefully they just don't know how the stack works. That's the out I'm playing to right now. Okay, they're rebirthing their Haywire Might. That sucks. Oh, I still have Rest in Peace in play. This doesn't matter at all. That was just a spell that did nothing. Okay, they're exiling Rest in Peace, thinking that this works, but it doesn't, because their Haywire Might's already gone. Alright, give your opponents opportunities to make mistakes. Oh, and we got the Shame Concede. Wow, they probably could have timed me out there, honestly, but cool game. Isochron Scepter actually a major factor in both of the games there. On to the next one. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the play in round number 2. I'm going to keep this in. I'm going to fetch Steam Vents and cast Preordain. I'll take my beats to get my mana under me here. Steam Vents, Preordain. I Izzet Murktide. Think nothing of it. Okay, 2 lands here. One of them's a fetch. The other's Hall. And Hall does come into play on tap, but it doesn't cast any spells next turn. I'm going to bottom the Hall for later and keep the fetch. The fetch gets me Zagoth Triome if I want that to turn on Leyline Binding, Blackleaf Cliffs, Ravioli. Okay. I've got a Lightning Helix for that. Blackleaf Cliffs, interesting land. It makes me think this is more likely some kind of Jund deck than Scam. Does Scam play this card? Maybe this is a very stupid question, but just get the vibe that they don't. And I'm gonna Helix on their turn to avoid the dash. I have Force of Negation and follow-up Teferi and also Leyline Binding if they like scam their rag with a Undying Evil or whatever. I'm just not super worried about that play. Okay, that's gone. Another Cliffs. Roxa. Okay. That card's annoying. I think I'm going to discard the Force of Negation here. This deck looks like it's pretty creature-centric. And if they follow up with a Blood Moon, I'm not even that upset about it. I just don't see a world where discarding one of these good spells to make room for a bad spell that costs me 2 more spells. Just don't think that's the way forward. I'm going to play N+ Teferi. If Fury doesn't finish this thing off, as long as it's in play, they can't scam me. I've played around Blood Moon as well as I can, other than discarding the Force of Negation. Right, Fable, cool. I can just bounce the Dingus and move forward with my life. Deluge, okay. I'm going to start by bouncing the Dingus. Just do that. Preordain, I would like to hit a land drop here. I'm still holding up Helix throughout. Bottom back up to Teferi, top Rockran Triome. This Triome at least gets Deluge on the stack. I have Path to Exile for Kroxa, who might be live this turn. If they just discard 2 cards to Fable, then fetch. Kroxa is in action. Having two answers to that one is nice, though. Discarded Bolt and Push. That Bolt could have killed Teferi. They either have a different answer to that, or that's just not their agenda. Dashing Rag, okay. This looks like a Lightning Helix to me. I actually want to see if they're going to attack me or Teferi here. That's free information, I can just wait for that. Alright, they do care about Teferi at least a little bit. Bang. Get rid of that. Now they're fetching. Orcish Blowmasters will deal 1 to Teferi. That's mostly fine. Plus Teferi. I think I'm going to shock in Hallowed Fountain here, because I would like to Deluge this turn. And I'm also going to have to deal with Kroxa. I'm a 22. I can handle this. Lightning Helix. What a treat, by the way. Yeah, I do have a lot of problems to solve here between the Reflection, the Bowmasters, and the pending Kroxa. I'm going to have to... Well, I could just let Teferi die here. Do I even care about Teferi that much? Teferi is turning off all the scam BS. I will... I really don't care about Bowmasters that much. Unless I do. At which point, suddenly I care. Which is just... I didn't say anything, but I know that. Because I don't have the information I want to make this decision with. I'm going to Deluge first and get some more information. Helix Counterspell. I like the Helix a lot. Is Counterspell better than a land? Probably. Almost certainly, in fact. Yeah, alright, I'll take the 2 spells. And I think I just let Teferi eat it here. If it wasn't for all their stupid instants. I hate my life. Alright, I'm going to path the Orcish Bowmasters here. Okay, Teferi goes to 1, still around. Kroxa will probably have to clear Counterspell if they just go for that here. And then I can bind Kroxa, Helix, Reflection, plus Teferi, and we're just playing against another 1/1 orc. And then we end up with the question of, if I was playing to this line anyway, am I supposed to take a land over Counterspell so there's more Counterspells in my deck? Or am I supposed to take Counterspell because I don't take 3 in that world and I'm discarding whatever that was? Okay, draw for turn. Oh, what does you do? All right, plus Teferi. That's got to happen. Leyline Binding, unfortunately, costs a lot right now. And I am absolutely required to bind the Kroxa. That's happening. And I guess I just have to Helix the Reflection as well. And I'll just sit on this Scepter for my next instant. Yeah, if I had the Zagoth Triome in play at any point this game, that turn would have been completely bonkers. But obviously, we've been under steady attack the whole game. Not an option. Refable. Are they going to continue poking Teferi? Yes, this Teferi's absorbed at least 3 damage this game. Come on. Spell. Oh, that's a spell. All right. Plus Teferi. Isochron Scepter. Exile Lightning Bolt. We got some action here. It's not Lightning Helix, but I'm in. Safely hide these cards where discard can't get them. And because of Teferi, I'm safe to just pass here. They get their big loots. These decks usually don't play a ton of Kroxas. It's like 1 or 2, maybe. The second's frequently in the board. And my entire monologue about Blackcleave Cliffs just seems very foolish now. It seems obviously this would be a land that Scam plays. Didn't go full looting here. They had at least 3 cards in their hand they wanted. Don't like that. Alright, beginning of combat before attacks. I'm going after the Goblin Shaman. Bang. F6 from here. Orc army continues its beatdown. Oh, didn't attack. Not interested, huh? What does that mean? Does that actually mean anything, or was that a misclick? I'm trying to imagine why this orc needs to be untapped for any reason, when they could have put 1 on Teferi or me. Weird. I'm skeezed out. Speaking of skeezed out, look at this card. Plus Teferi. And I'm just going to pass here. I can Lorien at instant speed if I need to. I can't hit 2 land drops. Maybe I don't have to, but yeah, maybe main phasing that is fine. What am I worried about with Teferi on 3? And Reflection is sleepy. They could Fury, kill Teferi with a trigger, then scam the Fury. Season Pyro, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. I was about to say they have Orcish Bowmaster, but they don't. They have Orc Army token, which is not as good. And as long as Teferi's in play, I don't need to worry about getting bone out. I am also paying attention to the clock. We're pretty close here. Oh, discarded Grief and Fury. That's scary. Fury seems pretty good right now. Putting damage on Teferi. I am going to Lorien Revealed in this end step. That's just definitely the correct thing to do here. Pew pew. Load them up. That's a lot of good cards. No lands among them. Okay, I got to Lightning Bolt before they untap. Take out the Reflection. And I'm just going to pass from here. I can counter something and bolt something else. Looks like Teferi is at the end of his sweet little life. Discarding that Fury last turn is terrifying. I understand Grief, like I'm hellbent and they can't scam, but Fury is really good. Another one. Counter it. Bang. Put that away. And I can let them attack, and if they don't fully commit to the Teferi attack, I might be able to protect them. They have land number 7 in play now. That's so many lands for them to have. Okay, Teferi's, they did fully commit to the Teferi attack here. Still gonna bolt the Pyromancer now before they can scam it. Nope, Teferi's still in play. They floated a black. They have a scam spell. That's why I did it when I did it. Remember? I said that, opponent. Were you listening? Okay, confirmed scam spell in their hand. Gotta stay aware of that. Search of Salvation, what's up? Okay, I like that one. I am gonna deluge here. Hitting the land is just so important, and oh nice. Big Teferi and land. Hitting the land is important, and I have Upsurge, so like the fail case of this turn, my worst case scenario isn't even that bad. And hitting the land means I can bolt if that's better than Surge. And then Teferi gives you the mana to Isochron Scepter every turn. Guaranteed. They got 3 cards in their hand and a CZ Peasy in the graveyard. End step. I'm going to get a basic. Blood Moon still exists in their deck somewhere, and I'm not interested in it. Okay, bolt the Elemental, because Orc Army is more replaceable than Elemental. That just gets bigger and still dies to bolt if they have the thing. Okay, here we go. Big Teferi. I can Surge of Salvation of Bowmaster, which I just didn't even have. Sick. And I'm going to fetch in the end step for Zagoth Triome. And then pass and untap 2 lands. Now we're moving. They can make Seasoned Pyromancer tokens in the end step. I can Surge and Counterspell, or Lightning Bolt and Surge on their turn. Ooh, we're fetching in the end step. Are we Lightning Bolting now, or just thinning? Okay, cool. Got my mana up to do stuff. Teferi's in play. Not currently dead to what they're showing me. Everybody's going in on Teferi here. I think I am going to bolt. This Surge is just so good against everything their deck can do. Take out one of these Elementals. Keep Teferi as flush as I can keep them. Opponent's got big problems right now, and I want to keep them around. Gothy Voidwalker. Okay, that's dead. Cool. Alright, so I can bolt Voidwalker. Plus Teferi, start there. Activate the thing here. Just going to take out the Voidwalker right now. Guess I'm supposed to do it on their turn because I know they have the scam spell. I'll just counter that, I guess. Yeah, I could have done better with this. Wait. I think I should force a negation this, actually. Yeah, because Counterspell can hit the creatures in their deck, which is most of their deck, and force a negation cannot. Oh, another one. Okay, they're hellbent now. I'm getting you out of here. Empty your hand, empty your resources. Hall of Storm Giant's going to win the game in short order from here. This Isochron Scepter's been bonkers. In case you haven't been paying attention. Just want to say that out loud. A Surge. Damage dealt 2 creatures. Yep, so Teferi is going to die this turn. They did get over that hump, but now I'm in Flashback Deluge stage of the game, and Hall of Storm Giants is ready to go. This Teferi just gained me 8 life and drew 2 cards. Draw for turn. This costs 6 to activate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I can still bolt them. Yeah, all right. Just gonna get it over with. Bang. In for 7. They're taking 10 a turn, and I'm not. Sucks I'm 1 mana short here to kill them right now. But yeah, they're in double bolt range. Still attacking with everything. They have high hopes for the world. That makes me think they drew a removal spell, which doesn't even matter because they're dead to just 2 Scepter activations, unless they're just playing to the clock here. Oh no, they're conceding to the activation. Cool. All right, neat. That was fun. Surge of Salvation's coming in. I do like Rest in Peace, less than I liked it against the last deck, but it is good. And I think Supreme Verdict is solid here. Force some negations out. Silence, I don't really care about. Little Teferi solid, but I don't need 4 of it for this matchup. And Isochron Scepter, again, you can't afford bad draws in this matchup. The fact that I ripped a powerful instant to put under the Scepter I drew that game, rather than like a land and Scepter was just straight in my hand, was the whole game, basically. I probably want Prismatic Ending too. And Counterspell's solid. Path to Exile is good against basically Kroxa. I guess a Scammed Fury would be important to path. I actually think Teferi's pretty mid in this matchup, especially on the draw. Jace, kind of a object of a bygone era, but I think still effective here. Maybe I don't need both Supreme Verdicts, just having access to one of those to dig for, and then spot remove them besides. Okay, I'm in. Isochron Scepter also color fixes if I get Blood Mooned, because I can put anything under the Scepter and just pay colorless mana to cast it. This hand is so close, but I'm going to send it. Okay, good stuff. Keep this one. Bottom. It's probably Teferi. Or it might be Counterspell. Yeah, you just don't have time to hold up Counterspell in the early game, but I do want it in the late game. Whereas Teferi can impact the board. And the Sacred Foundry means I'm not even counterspelling on turn 2 unless I commit my Lorien Revealed. Yeah, I don't know. Not sold on all that. This deck is built on doing something stupid turn 1. They're on 5, though. Let's hope that holds up. A Blood Crypt. And a Ragavan. Got that covered. Lightning Helix, you love to see it. I'm going to bolt now to get ahead of scam spells. Though with Helix in hand, maybe I didn't need to do that. Let them scam it and then Helix it. Kroxa. All right. Kroxa, I think, is going to hit my... Is it Leyline Binding or Teferi? I think I want Lorien. I think it's Teferi, actually. Lorien for the land drop is just too good, and then Leyline Binding answers the Kroxa, which is currently my biggest concern. Okay, that basic island is good. Still going to play Flooded Strand in case I need access to a binding this turn, because I can binding for 1. I could also fetch Hallowed Fountain and just zap a goblin token or something. Magus of the Moon. All right, well, I'll fetch in response to that. And I actually didn't even need to do that. This is pretty sick. I can just... Oh no, Lorien Revealed can't get a Plains. I was about to say, I just have this completely checkmated. Which, I mean, I still do, but not in a clean way that I would have liked. Hallowed Fountain, A2 life, float, red, white. Your spell resolves, your spell dies. Cool. Handled. Ooh, Big Tef. Alright, Big Tef makes me want to cycle Lorien Revealed into Zagoth Triome right now. And play that for my turn. I have binding available. If they just go land Kroxa, that's covered. Alright, looks like that is happening. And I'm going to have to discard Island. Sucks. I'm not discarding Teferi. I don't care what you say. Can't talk me into it. Okay, here's Kroxa. Leyline Binding, get rid of it. I am going to discard the Island. I have 1 Teferi, and it like wins the game on the spot when it shows up. And I have a ton of lands, and Lorien Revealed's Divine Lands, and cantrips Divine Lands. You know what I'm saying? Zori's Charm. Okay, that can cycle in the end step if it needs to. I don't want to fire it off now, necessarily. If they dash Rag, I would like to answer that. Tap land, 1 card left in their hand. If it's Bowmasters, they might have just got me. But doing what I'm doing here. Rest in peace, right on time. Oh, Little Teferi. I'll take that. Little Teferi is going to plus. I have a devious plan here. We'll see if it works out. I can play Rest in Peace next turn, bounce my Leyline Binding. I have to discard a different card, but I draw a card, get Binding in my hand, and Croaks is gone. Oh, does this target each opponent? Boo, boo. I think I would like to just draw no cards, or draw a card, bounce nothing. I'm not going to do the trick. I would like to start hitting land drops. I have multiple layers of protection now. Dope. That's good. Play Rest in Peace. Just locking down angles they could approach me from. Dashing Ragavan is the thing I'm worried about at this phase of the game. Thoughtseize, Surge. We're on Protect Teferi at all costs. I'm not cracking this fetch land. I want lands in my deck. I want to draw them. Bango! We did it. Alright, this is exactly the board state I was picturing 150 turns ago. Island, Plains, Blood Moon, Insulation, Big Teferi coming in. Let's draw a Counterspell. All, okay. Untapping. I'm going to represent Counterspell rather than represent Burn. I have none of it. It doesn't matter. But I can't represent both Helix and Counterspell here. If I end up Hellbent, losing 3 life to exile... Oh, I would end up with the Leyline Binding in my hand. So Croxa will always have something it can take unless they play another scary permanent. Then I can bounce Leyline Binding in response to Croxa trigger, exile that permanent. There are tricks to be had here, if you choose to pursue them. Pithing Needle. Alright, well, that has to name Big Teferi. Yep, named Teferi Hero. Orcish Bowmasters, that's disappointing. That can control Little Teferi just enough that I can't execute the play I just described. A removal spell, Counterspell, a turn late. Hate to see it. I have Hall of Storm Giants, though. My next land erases them. They are moving in on Little Teferi. Makes sense. That's the one that still does anything. Deluge. Alright, well, my own Rest in Peace making this a little awkward, but that's okay. I'm going to leave up red, blue instead of Counterspell. A Leyline Binding is a heater, and do I want Preordain or Lorien Revealed? Lorien Revealed's the long play. Yeah, I think I'm in for that. A plus Little Teferi. And now I have a choice of Leyline Binding, Pithing Needle, draw a card on tap 2 lands. They get to ping, but I do have Big Teferi roll in. And I don't have a removal spell in my hand. I would have to use the removal spell. Okay. I'm going to pass here. I think I'm going to bind the Bowmaster and then Lorien Revealed to pull ahead next turn. Sucks that I'm not holding up Counterspell, but the lands just aren't there to support everything I want to be doing right now. Okay, bind the monster, which is a different magic card that it's not in my deck, but I am doing it. I could also cycle Lorien Revealed. Like, if they have follow-up Bowmaster. Alright, they didn't do that. I'm just going to draw 3 cards and try to win the game that way. Drawing cards is the same as winning. I'm going to leave up Hallowed Fountain. We got there on all sorts of fronts. Okay, and they played no cards with their 5 mana last turn. No Fury, no Thoughtseize, just nothing. Other Bowmasters. I am going to Surge. Or I guess I let them declare their target first and then I Surge. Wait, was all of this worse than just countering? Probably. What am I doing? Okay, I have Hexproof, which will stuff this trigger, which means the Orc army does not grow. We stay chilling. And all of the Storm Giants wakes up this turn. And getting Steam Vents here unlocks this giant problem. Oh, I'm going to get Rockrun Triumph, actually. This one red that isn't blue thing that I've been dealing with the entire game is now fixed. Oh, Steam Vents was in my hand anyway. Played around it. Plus Teferi. Fire up the hall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to fetch basic island to do this with. No, I'm not. It's not in my deck. Where'd it go? Oh, I discarded it to Croxa. That's right. All right. I just took 2 I might not need to take. But you can't take many hits from this thing. And if they're holding Fatal Push, Teferi is locking it out. And if they spend more effort dealing with Teferi, I have Counterspell and Surge of Salvation to still beat a removal spell next turn. There's a land. They haven't played a land in like 4 turns, and they just played one now. That's information. I think their hand is 2 removal spells and a scam spell. That's my bet right now. And if they want to kill Teferi, they have to leave their shields down. Yeah, they're just leaving blockers up now. We're cooking. Not even pretending that they have anything to do here. Just going to wake up the hall and get storming. I can't cast this Preordain because it would just give them another blocker and ping something. I am going to shotgun Steam Vents. I don't think 7 and 9 are meaningfully different life totals against this deck from this position, and having up Counterspell might be a big deal. Because they are dead on board. Teferi can just minus on... Oh no, if Teferi minuses, then Orc can flash back in because Teferi's gone. Never mind, not dead on board. They've got a blocker that I can't clear meaningfully. I'll still just no plays, send it. I love this. Okay, still holding up Counterspell, presenting lethal here. Little Teferi stopping most things that could be a problem for me. Little Teferi goes to 4. That is a lethal action. They're going to need 2 blockers or a blocker that's 2 things or something, and everything they do has to be a counterspell. Sweet. I like this deck a lot. This is my kind of magic. Just Teferi and Teferi until your 1 land kills them. Good stuff. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. On the draw for round 3, I have blue and white mana and a Preordain. I'm going to keep this. No removal in this hand, no counter spells, but whatever. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Keep. Okay, what are you? What are you doing? Reveal yourself. A Rakdos land. What a surprise. In this modern format, that's so strange. Okay, Thoughtseize probably takes Preordain here, would be my guess. Unless they're playing the super long game and they're worried about Jace. Once again, another opponent just peeking at my Isochron Scepter. I'm never going to get anyone surprised by that. But they will die to it all the same. Yep, Preordain's gone. Sick. Well, not helpful right now, but good card for the matchup. Wish this Deserted Beach was not that. We did talk about the Deserted Beach when I worked on the deck with Super Gub, and just kind of the pros and cons of every land being a shock land versus managing things that need to be land types for Leyline Binding versus coming into play untapped. And this is actually a pretty big beating on the Deserted Beach. If that was just another fetch land, maybe we're okay, but the Deserted Beach was also fine in every other situation. And they said, I don't care about Surge of Salvation taking your Jace. Good call. How about putting Surge of Salvation under Isochron Scepter right now? If this is scam, I don't think they really remove artifacts in the main deck. And just having a permanent, shield up, hexproof forever. I don't know, maybe that was too aggressive, but getting these cards out of my hand while they're still usable feels right. Land number 3. Am I getting Blood Mooned? That would be disappointing. Fable's fine. I can bounce the Goblin Teferi's on the board then. We're hanging out. Leyline Binding currently costs 6, or I guess it would cost 5. Not even a Plains, though I do have white. If we were making an argument against Deserted Beach, this game is it. All of the bad things about Deserted Beach have come up this game. But we're still functioning, so, like, scoreboard, I guess. We found Counterspell off of that bounce. If I untap into a stable situation again, that's going to be a very good card. But that's a big if. Scam with 4 cards in hand, they get to rummage 2 of them if they want. I actually want to see 2 cards hit the graveyard here. If they go less than that, then that means they're already set. 2 terminates, send them. Okay. They did have 2 bad cards in their hand. They can hardcast Grief here, which is annoying enough. Bowmaster also just kills Teferi and then stays around. Oh no, that's even worse. Now Teferi's in exile and they double spelled. And if I cycle Lorien Revealed, it's in the void. Okay, so if I shock in Hallowed Fountain, I can play Leyline Binding. Is that important? If I cycle Lorien Revealed, it's gone. But I can get Swamp Forest or Mountain Plains. Actually, Rockran Triumph makes as many land types as Zagoth does here. Putting Lorien Revealed into the void seems horrendous, though. Okay, I'm just going to shock in Hallowed Fountain and leave my options open. Because this can Counterspell plus Surge, or I can bind something in the end step. If they just put Teferi on the stack, I'm going to Counterspell it. So next turn, they can start copying Voidwalkers, and they can cast Teferi out of the void without losing the one that's in play. Just in for 2. Teferi's still chilling. No, not attacking with Voidwalkers, interesting. They have a plan for that. Okay, they are entering the void here. I am countering Teferi, because it's now or never. That's how this works. That was not a bad round of play. Lorien Revealed's going to be a problem as long as Bowmaster's around. It's basically a 7 mana play because they have to Surge first. I think I'm just going to cycle this. Now Zagoth is worth 2 land types, but I don't have red. I'm just going to get Rockran. Oh, another one of these, huh? Play Rockran Triumph. And I think I have to just exile the Reflection of Kiki Jiki before it does anything. Not something I want around. If I had cycled for Steam Vents instead of Rockran Triumph there, I could be holding up Scepter activation as well. Yeah, that probably... I do feel like I wish that was in place. Maybe they'll just pass with no play. That would be great. But their deck is full of plays. Refable. Hate that. Receptor. Also not great. Okay, I can bounce the Goblin Shaman token, and then I get to see the card that I draw before I decide if I need to save this Teferi. And I am going to save the Teferi. Not doing anything else with my mana right now. Surge. They do not ping Teferi. They do not grow their army. And we pass from there. I'm certainly treading water from behind, especially with this second Fable about to do a second round of looting. If I can get to this Deluge, that's cool. That's how we start to take over. But it's tight. If I just top deck Helix and put it under an Isochron Scepter, I'm going to feel amazing. Pitched Fury and Voidwalker, that's terrifying. Those are 2 of the cards I'm most worried about. What are we looking for here? Grief is going to take Deluge. And then I'm going to top deck Helix and go off with my Scepter. Yep, Deluge is gone. Helix, Helix. Okay, deck, we're going to draw Lightning Helix. Preordain. Okay. Once again, I get to see the card before I realize if I'm going to take damage or not, and that's awesome. Bottom top, I'm just going to let the Bowmaster hit me, because now I have this going. Helix, Helix. Bang, Lightning Helix in the hole. I'm just going to cook Grief right now before they can scam it. Bang. Life gain online, removal, machine gun online. Next turn, I'm untapping with all my shit can get hexproof whenever, and also kill everything all the time. Dashing Reg, that's pretty good. Okay, do not hit. Oh, I actually don't care if they do hit Teferi. They don't have blue and white off one treasure. If they did hit Teferi, got them. All right, played around it. All right, cool. They hit the card I was most worried about, but they couldn't actually use it. And I can kill their entire board at this point. I'm going to Helix the Reflection right now. If they scam it, it comes back as not a creature, and I get some time off. And I can Bolt Ragavan this turn. Then I'm done with that. There's the Rag. Bolt it. Nice. Okay, I'm gaining as much life as they're dealing every turn. Now the shield is up that they can never destroy any of my stuff or discard me again. Counterspell, gas. All right, let's go to your turn. See what you want to do with your life. Fetching in the end step. If I Helix this turn, I think I go for the Orc Army because I'm not really worried about Bowmasters as a card right now. All right, JK, I'm going to Helix that. I can save this Counterspell for, you know, whatever, whenever. I'm still gaining as much life as they're dealing. They're falling behind, and I'm treading water. The second they stop presenting threats, they start falling behind. I am fine with this entire world that we're in. And if that Ragavan was bait, and they're going to cast some busted spell second main, I have Counterspell. Cool, they just have nothing. Azorius Charm. The options never stop. Now I can Helix the army. And yeah, I could charm the army, but I'd rather just keep spells in my hand. 5 mana card, Fury. I don't even care. Resolves. This deals damage to nothing. I can counter a scam on it. I'm going to zap Fury here. And if they have the scam spell, I'll counter it. And if they don't, I'll use this window to charm the orc. And this has to be Undying Evil. If it's the Malakir Rebirth, I don't care. I'll just kill it on my turn too. Feign Death. That is a +1/+1 counter version. All right, I'll counter that. Make Fury dead. And they've had enough. That was genuinely Isochron Scepter that did all that. And we've seen this this sideboard plan before. May have played against this deck once or twice in the league that we've played 2 matches in. You would think I'd know how to sideboard by now. Let's see if I remember. I think this is what I've been doing. Feels weird to cut an Isochron Scepter after the absolute showcase we just received. But I still think it's a bad draw a lot of the time. If you don't have a window to get set up, it's pretty clunky. I'm in. 1 lander with Lorien revealed. I will keep this. I understand that my air quotes second land can get thought seized, but let's hope that doesn't happen. Kind of hoping they just play Ragavan. Okay, they do have Thoughtseize, but even taking Lorien revealed here, my deck has, what, 20 lands in it? 21? Like, taking Lorien revealed is a high risk, high reward play. Like, obviously, if I just miss my land drop, I'm in trouble. But if I don't, then you just took nothing with your Thoughtseize. Scalding Tarn pass. Now I'm holding up Surge if they do anything, and I can Lorien revealed if they don't. Scepter can put Charm under it, that's cool. Second main, they could have some artifact destruction, though. Dashing Rag, that works. Pathing them, ramping them doesn't seem great, but neither does getting pummeled by Rag. Yeah, I'll just path this thing. Hallowed Fountain. Taken 2 anyway. I guess I can't get planes with Scalding Tarn, so this was just the land that works in my deck. Okay, deck. Let's just draw a land. Don't make me do this. Very easy, always had it. Now hold up Counterspell versus Isochron Scepter, put Azorius Charm under it, is pretty interesting. But I can also Surge plus get land number 3. I'm going to go with that. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That is a card I'm annoyed enough by that I'm going to interact with it. I'm going to get Island, counter this. And once again, drawing an untapped land would be insane. But if not, I can still develop my board with Revealed. not an untapped land. I can just play Rockran Triome right now. And then I could put Charm under Scepter. I really want to be able to Surge to protect the Scepter when I do it, though. Alright, I'm just going to play Triome and continue passing. Because I think if I can resolve this Scepter and protect it from possible artifact disruption, we're just cooking. Alright. Oh shit, I was supposed to Cyclone Response. Uh-oh. I mean, that's actually really bad, because putting Lorien Revealed in their zone is bad news. Never punished. Magic's easy. Okay, here we go. Isochron Scepter, imprinting Azorius Charm. Loop. Alright, now they can't really attack. I can draw cards if they don't attack. I can tuck their stuff if they do. And I think I just fetch Plains right now. Actually, I think I'm not going to fetch, and I'm not going to activate Scepter. I'm just going to use my life total as a resource here, take my time. And if they attack, I guess I'll tuck the Voidwalker. But I'm not going to just draw a card in the end step. I would hate to just draw a card at random, and then they, like, Kolaghan's Command me. I guess Kolaghan's Command is such a beating that I'm actually not going to do anything. Alright, I'll Surge of Salvation. This Grief. They pitched Thoughtseize to do that. Yeah, I mean, here we go. Surge of Salvation. That does put a Surge into the Void. Grief just dead. And they didn't K command in response to Surge either. That's what I would have been worried about there with the Grief. They had a window to make my life difficult. Yeah, I'm just going to take 3. I'm not going to fetch. Phyrexian Metamorph. Cool. That's a wild Magic card to have in your deck. Heyo. Well, I better kill one of these things before they can Surge to protect them. Alright, I'm going to get a basic Plains right now. No Plains. And Lightning Helix. The Voidwalker. Right now, they can't scam it. They can't cast their other spell out of the Void. The Surge to protect it. Gaining 3 life. Awesome. If they attack, Metamorph is on top or bottom of their deck. Right, I think this Scepter is in a spot where clearing the board makes sense to me. I don't have a Surge to protect it anymore. Might as well use the card. Put target attacking or blocking creature on the top or bottom of its owner's library. Oh, it's just top. This is not how one of these old cards works. On top of its owner's library. Okay. Yeah, that's usually a choice these days, but now they're redrawing Phyrexian Metamorph next turn, which copies Isochron Scepter or nothing. Ooh, that's if their hand is Bowmasters. Alright, Preordain, let's find out. Nope, no love. Okay. Top. And I'm going to play Teferi. I'm just going to tap out for a turn, hope I'm okay. Minus. Draws me Zagoth Triome, play that. Okay, I have 5 mana up now to cast Lorien Revealed. They're drawing Phyrexian Metamorph right now. If they copy Isochron Scepter, it doesn't do anything because Teferi's in play. Would be pretty sick to get Metamorph Scepter Lightning Bolted out of an opposing deck. I am going to play Steam Vents untapped. I feel like my life total is good here. And if I Lorien Revealed into Surge of Salvation or Lightning Bolt, I'd like to cast it. Thoughtseize. Alright, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Surge of Salvation, pay me out. Not smart. Alright, felt smart, but I wasn't actually. Took 2 damage for no reason. It took my Counterspell. Still no good targets for Phyrexian Metamorph. Let's play that turn over again, but now I have 2 mana. You're in trouble. Scam opponent. I'm over the hump. I'm doing the thing. Oh, they're just passing. Gross. I'm gonna Lorien Revealed for sure, and then at minimum, also Azorius Charm. Unless I find something better. Here we go. Isochron Scepter, draw a card, just like we drew it up. Draw a card. Busted. This deck. Oh my goodness. Remember how we were playing a game a second ago? Now we're just not. No longer playing any kind of game. If my opponent beats me from here, they deserve it. I am not going to shock that in. Untap my Hallowed Fountains. Alright, I can Deluge if they do nothing. I can kill multiple creatures and protect myself from Surge of Salvation. Fury, my permanents have hexproof. Sorry about your luck. And if they set up a scam here thinking this was going to work, they were wrong. My permanents are proofed from your hexes. Well, we know this deck can beat scam. On to the next round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. On the draw for round 4, I've got a Lightning Helix to protect me and some other removal. I'm in. Okay, show me the Blood Crypt. Oh, they pitched a Living End. We actually are doing something different here. Still a Grief deck. I'm going to have to take my time against it. Find some counterspells, a little Teferi perhaps. Took my Binding. That's the one that can interact with creatures of the size of creatures that this deck actually plays. Riverwinder, Grief. Okay, can I find Counterspell in time? I'm playing Arid Mesa so I can get Rockman Triome. Cycling Generous End. This gets a land guaranteed. It's cool stuff. Getting Triome. Just getting my best lands. I don't have to think about playing a long game where I cycle these. Oof. Oof size large. And I'm going to play the Hallowed Fountain. I'll play the Steam Vents. I'm just trying to think what happens if they do their thing right now. And the answer is I'm in a lot of trouble, but I could at least Lightning Helix a Grief. I'm trying to represent Counterspell, at least, even if I don't have it. Please do literally anything right now other than that. Cool. All right, cool. That guarantees me another turn. They don't have fast mana sources here. Okay, deck. We've been given a new chance at life. Zagoth Triome in. Counterspell off the top. Baby Teferi off the top. You are killing me, Smalls. I'm going to shock in Hallowed Fountain and pass the turn. I have drawn, for all 4 turns of this game, a land. Cycling Street Wraith. Griefing me. Hate that. Well, I mean, they know the coast is clear. I could Helix them to gain 3, but then Deluge is gone. Yeah, I mean, they either take Deluge and I Helix one of the creatures on the way back in, or I Helix them and I'm facing down the same amount of damage. Okay, so they have Violent Outburst. They tapped 3 mana, then untapped it. Oh. Interesting. I wasn't expecting to get this far. Normally you'd fire in the upkeep if you're firing at all. Okay. I'll play Hallowed Fountain tapped and pass. I expected in the end step. Oh wow, they don't have it. They saw my hand, they know the coast was clear, and they still said no thanks. This is wild. I did not expect the game to go this long. Striped Riverwinder cycled. Okay, hey deck, how about that Teferi now? We've been chilling for quite some time. Teferi, Counterspell. Oof. Well, I mean, they know that the coast is clear, so I'm just going to draw 3 cards. I'm not bluffing anything. I'm bluffing 2 draw steps, and it's not getting better for me to stay bluffing. Force of Negation, pitching Subtlety, they're hellbent. Okay. All right, they have 8 good draws in their deck. Most of their deck cycles. Those are all redraws, but I mean, here we are. Don't do it. Just give me some draws. No. Cycle. Pass. Don't do it. Don't you do it. No, they did it. Okay. All right, well, Supreme Verdict is in my sideboard. That was kind of an embarrassing display. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, they get to Architects me and whatever, but yeah, my deck with, 5, 6 main deck hard counters, 4 little Teferi. Just could not do anything there. That sucked. Silence would have done it. Okay. Supreme Verdict, Dovin's Veto, all getting in. Surge of Salvation bricks the Griefs. That's important. Rest in Peace turns off their deck. I'm not really trying to meet them in the damage zone, or in the creature removal zone. So Helix, Bolts are out. Path to Exile does kill their stuff. I'm trying for them to not have stuff, but they are likely to get there eventually. This is too many Scepters, especially when I'm cutting a ton of the things that can go under Scepter. I guess I'm adding Doman's Vetoes. Those are pretty cool. Surges. No, I actually think Scepter is just too clunky and not a real option for this deck, for this matchup. And I'll have one in there. Treat it like a Planeswalker. You draw it later, and then it does stuff, but this is all about surviving. Okay, I will keep this hand. It can protect me from grief and contains Counterspell. Pass the turn. Oseiju is your land. Cool. I'm going to fetch the Rockran Triumph right now. I'm already holding Zagoth. I don't want that for a while. Doman's Veto to go with the Counterspell. 4 mana eventually will happen here. Forest Cycling, you got it. The Veto's nice because that counters Living End even on my turn with Force of Negation's help. Griefing me. Pitching a Living End. I'm going to Surge that. This is why this card's in the deck. Grief Bricked. 1 Living End gone. I can fetch a Hallowed Fountain pain-free here. I boarded out basically all my red cards. Literally all my red cards, yeah. Hallowed Fountain it is. And I will deploy... Oh, do I want Zagoth? We're approaching Cycle Zagoth for value, but no, I'm just gonna play it. See some cycles in the end step. Waker of Waves does that thing. Curator of Mysteries into the graveyard. Cycling a Winder. Oh, missing land drops. I like that. That gives me a chance to Azorius Charm and draw a card. I didn't think that was going to have a window to happen this game, but here we go. That's what I'm about. Backup Surge. Okay, I feel pretty safe about not losing this game. It's time to find a way to win it. I may have just noticed that Isochron Scepter imprinting a burn spell is kind of my win con. I have like Jace, Teferi, and Hall that can still win a game from here. Okay, the shields are up. Curator cycled. Griefing me. I'm gonna counterspell that. Or no, I'm not. What am I saying? Literally holding Surge of Salvation. Surge that. That's what this card is for. Oh, Force of Negation, hard mode. Alright, I'll counterspell that. Or I want to Force of Negation that, actually. Counterspell is good against creatures if I'm able to put them into start casting 4 and 5 drop mode, which is a viable mode of this deck, where Force of Negation does not help. I'm going to go for a Steam Vents in the end step here. No, I don't need Steam Vents. Still Hallowed Fountain. Alright, big Teferi off the top. Let's go. Deluge. Risky. It's not that risky. Oh, it is that risky because they have 2 Griefs in the graveyard. Alright, I'm going to pass. If I miss on an untapped land here, I could lose, and they can grief away the Supreme Verdict, and all of it is awful. Okay, now we're going to play Draw-Go for a minute. They've already pitched 1 Living End, and they only play 3, so if I can just get through those. Alright, now I have the land to Deluge. Fearlessly. Brazen Borrower creature mode. I think that's okay. And I don't like it, but I think it's okay. Borrower gets in. They're fetching. And if they just put like some 4-drop into play, I can Supreme Verdict, then hold up Veto after that. Okay, that's not just some 4-drop. And I think I want to Counterspell now, because I can pay for Mystical Dispute, and they can't force a negation at this point. Do I want to Deluge into Mystical Dispute? Yeah, I think so. Just get it out of their hand is fine. And if they don't have it, this is so good. Yep, that's fine. All good. I couldn't play my cards through that at any point anyway. Okay, I'm going to Supreme Verdict this board, just get control of it. They still have Veto, they have 2 cards in hand. That's the turn. There's 1 Living End left in their deck, and I have Veto for it. Oh, that Sunken Ruin sucks ass. Now they can cast Grief. That's so annoying. Maybe just don't. How about that? Okay, here we go. Shardless Agent, Firing Living End. Now look at their revealed cards. Grief, Endurance, Oliphant, the Striped Riverwinder. Yeah, just a bunch of normal cards. Dovin's Veto this card. That should be all the living ends, at least normally speaking. But now I have to actually win the game somehow, which, as I said, I may have sideboarded a little wrong. They have a 7-turn clock to figure this out. That seems like a long time, but it might just not be. Yeah, they can start casting big sphinxes and shit. I'm in trouble. Genuinely in trouble. I think the Helixes should still be in the deck. Deluge. I hope their last card isn't another dispute. Cycling Street right then respawn, so they could just scry one, then draw one. Scry to the top. That's stupid. Okay. Azorius Charm and Jace. Big Teferi and Jace. These are all cards I'm interested in. I think I want Big Teferi and Azorius Charm. That tucks the Curator. I get to plus and deal with Curator. Okay, Big Teferi and Azorius Charm are my selections here. Okay, pass. Scary stuff. What did you leave on top? Some creature you can cast, probably. Okay, I am gonna charm the Curator. I'm betting really hard that they just don't have any more living ends in the deck. This play is crazy if they have a living end left. They also have a lot of 1-mana cyclers that maybe they just cycle and put Sphinx right back into play. Violent Outburst. No way. No, you don't. Wow, they had 4 of these? Okay, yeah, I just fucked up. You got me. Okay, I can still top deck the other guy, the other Supreme Verdict. That was really bad though. They got me. I don't know if lists are on 4 living ends now or if this is some sort of secret tech. But yeah, I walked right into that. Okay, Supreme Verdict. Didn't get there. Okay, yep. I got beat by super secret technology. Maybe I'm just out of touch with Modern and this is how decks are constructed now, but in all of my years, I've never seen 4 living ends in this deck. Good job, opponent. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structure tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. On the draw, in the final round, keeping this hand that can cast Preordain. I'm in. Positive record locked, playing for a 4-1. Another strategy that represents black and red mana. What a wild world that is. Okay, having this land is interesting. I can just play Rockrun Triumph. I don't need a Preordain right now. My hand's already pretty gas. Yeah, I'm just going to play Rockrun Triumph, actually. Because this gives me the options to Preordain plus Path, or Preordain plus Bolt, or Path plus Bolt, or Helix next turn, where if I just like play Hall of the Storm Giants and cast Preordain, I lose a lot of those angles. Even Shocking in Hallowed Fountain loses a lot of those angles. Okay, we appear to be against some sort of red-black strategy that is going a lot slower than I would expect Scam to. Guess they could have Bowmasters here. I'm just going to play this fetch land. I know that was my window to play Hall untapped, but that's fine. If it's land number 4 and it's tapped, that's not a huge deal on my curve. But if they Blood Moon or some shit here, I would like access to Island. And if they just cast some creature, I'd like to be able to Helix it. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, you got it. Okay, do I want to Helix this or bolt it? I think I bolt it, then fetch the Zagoth. We'll fetch Zaggy. Then I can Preordain this turn. Another bolt, good stuff. Preordain. E or D. Force of Negation and Surge. I don't think I want Force of Negation. I do like that Surge adds to my package of things I can do here. And having both Surge, Bolt, Path, and that's not how the word both works, but having all available Surge, Bolt, Path, I think this is my turn to cast or play Hall tapped. I have 3 different things I can do for 1 mana. The thing that gets me here is Lightning Bolt. Or not Lightning Bolt, Blood Moon. I was looking at my Lightning Bolt and thinking of Blood Moon. just discarded 2 bolts. Refable. Okay, I will rebolt the Refable. Bolt. Okay, I'm going to play around Blood Moon at least a little bit by dropping this Flooded Strand. And now I have Path to Exile and Lightning Helix available to me. Or no, I don't. I have one of those 2 things because I only have 1 white source and it's also my red source. Okay, I'm going to have to make some hard choices here. Yeah, I don't think I actually can play around anything here. I kind of have to just... Do I get Steam Vents? Oh, I have Sacred Foundry in my deck. That works. Okay. I'm going to search the Thoughtseize. And then Sacred Foundry can path the Reflection. Alright, we're not playing around Blood Moon, ever. Just all in here. Path also gets around possible scamming of the Reflection. A little worried about Orcish Bowmasters here, but I'm going to tap out my big Teferi, plus it, and pass with either Lightning Helix or Counterspell available, depending on what I need. All right, Bowmaster confirmed. Annoying, but it's fine. We knew that was a possibility. Teferi is still a unit. Okay, end step, I untap Hallowed Fountain and Rockrin Trio. They fire up the Den here. That's pretty annoying. That's more annoying. Okay, so I lose Teferi no matter what here. I guess I'll counter the Fury then. Make them deal with it in combat. And then I can Helix Reflection and hopefully stabilize in other ways. Oh, children, gather around. We're doing it. The 1-card combo that has put Scam in the earth multiple times already in this league. Bang. Kill your Reflection. And go. They do have Den of the Bugbear, which is pretty serious. We got a "You are the boss" in the chat. I concur. We got a "I love your deck." Super gub. We did it. We got a compliment from the opponent. Let's see if we're just dead. But feel like pretty good. Orcish Bowmasters again. This makes the first Orc 3 power. Still gets Helixed. Alright, yeah, they're just getting down and dirty right now. Here are all my creatures. Can you deal with them? Question mark. I'm gonna fetch to get my F6 value, and I already have 2 red sources. I guess it continues to just be Hallowed Fountain. Or I probably should get a Plains. Yeah, I'm actually going to get Plains. Plains is the land in my deck that can remove a Blood Moon if it happens. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to need to worry about it. I don't know if that's my biggest problem right now, but all concerns that I have. Okay, I could kill the army now before it gets any bigger. I don't really like the idea of Den of the Bugbear just firing up forever, but currently taking a bunch from a creature that's already there. I am tenuously behind right now. Please cast a spell. Crap. Yeah, firing up the Den versus casting a spell there. Actually really tough. Alright, I'm at 5. I can go to 8. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not dead on board. Another Helix. Oh, Teferi. That actually sucks with the pair of Bowmasters around. Yeah, the 2 Bowmasters. I could just Helix one, deal with the other, but I think I have to pass this turn. Try to absorb some damage in combat, work my way to a place where this Teferi does anything. Guess I could have played Teferi and plussed, but then I can't counterspell and Scepter. Casting Grief. I'll counter that. That was a great use of resources for me. Let's get rid of that. And they attack with everything. If they have a scam spell... I mean, if they have a scam spell, they're doing okay no matter what. So I'm just going to hit the thing that does the most to me. Grief. Alright, it's just in the graveyard. I like that. I am now back to parity. They're attacking for as much as I'm gaining every turn. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to play Teferi and plus. This turns off scam business. and they can't kill it in combat, and they don't get an orc army because I foolishly bounced something. I'm also hellbent in case they draw more discard spells. All right, yeah, Fury's pretty good. Puts a bunch of damage onto Teferi. It's all right. It's still alive. That's all I need out of it right now. Well, middle finger to me. I understand. Okay, I'm going to kill one of these Bowmasters that can attack me this turn. Oh, maybe I was supposed to kill Fury, because now I have to like whack-a-mole the Fury versus the Den, and both do a lot of damage. I think that might have been reckless. Removal spell? Oh, yeah. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to pass. Because I do also have this 7/7 I can wake up if they get too rowdy. Firing up the Den. Beginning of combat. Helix from exile. I'm going to go after Fury first, because that's the one that is a bigger blowout if they scam it. That's gone. Surprise Helix from hand. Pew 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 pew. Alright, back to stability. Alright, another Teferi. We've seen this play before. Teferi. Plus. Alright, shields back up. Land from hand. It's probably good news. Now, can you even bother with Teferi? Wow, they are bothering with Teferi. I love that for me. Right, keep working on these Bowmasters. I'll take out the one with cool art this time. Teferi goes to 2. Wow, look at this game. Holy smokes. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is exactly enough to kill that last Bowmaster and then draw 3 cards without taking any extra damage. And they packed it, soloed by Isochron Scepter holding Lightning Helix. Wow. Once again, this sideboard plan should look familiar. Here they go. The clunky cards out, the good cards in. Let's run it. I think 2 is probably the right number of Isochron Scepter to be main decking. Just for what it's worth. That card has been really good this whole league, but also the downside is like pretty high. Okay, I am going to keep this hand full of interaction. Cheap interaction. I'm unlikely to die to their first threat, which is an important box to check. Okay, I am safe to preordain right now. At least I think that's true. I'm going to get a basic because I'm a coward. Counterspell, Leyline Binding. Bottom both of those. I kind of just want to hit land drops now. Can't just jam turn 2 Scepter holding Helix and say, bet. Voidwalker. And also just kill that. Okay. Do I just lightning bolt this Voidwalker and hang out? I could just shove Scepter, but no, I'm going to get Sacred Foundry here. And I do want to bolt right now. I just don't think that the deck that could have Kolaghan's Command in it on the play is one you tap out for Isochron Scepter against. Another one of those. On land. Cool. We did it. Now they can scam it anytime, so I might as well just wait for their turn. I bolted on my turn last time, so they couldn't save it. Okay. Can't just bolt this, save the Helix. I could also just take 3. Yeah, I'm going to take 3, actually. I don't want them getting any big ideas about what this game's really about. If I get planes, I don't have to take any damage here. But also, my lands don't really cast my spells. I think I'm okay with that. End step, Helix this thing. Helix does end up in the void here, because it fully resolves before the game checks if damage kills the thing. Yeah, that's fine. All right, land off the top. Ooh, not a land. We just bolt this thing. I'll bolt it on their turn. It's fine. The scam is going to work. Yeah, I'm very worried about Kolaghan's Command. Orcish Bowmasters. That's in. If they fetch, I'm definitely going to bolt. They didn't fetch. Interesting. Concerning. Here they come. 4/3, still small enough for me to bolt. I think leaving a path is a safe and reasonable thing to do here. Do I want to suddenly unlock their deck full of Furies by pathing this thing? What if they go Land Fury second main? Fulminator Mage? Jeez. Thought we were having fun. Okay, that's gone. Alright, well, I guess I'll path the Bowmaster now, and they've left me no choice except to just shove Helix onto this Scepter and hope they don't have it. Alright, yep, here we are, all in. We were playing a game, now we're not playing a game. Either they could kill the Scepter and I don't do anything ever, or I put them under the squeezer. Alright, Kolaghan's Command or bust. F6. Thoughtseize. Okay. I don't care about that right now. None of these cards are castable anyway. Be untapped. Oh my goodness. What does this mean? Maybe nothing. Maybe good things. Alright, they are channeling Takenuma, which gets back. They found a Grief. There's two Voidwalkers, Fulminator Mage, Ragavan in there. They picked up Grief. Okay. And it's still uncastable. That's fine. Here is Grief. Have a look. Take my cards. They're not even good. Sucker. Okay, Jace is gone. I am going to Helix the Orc army. Letting them just scam the Grief when it's not even attacking right now seems wrong. Preordain. Okay, a little bit of risk here. I get to see 3 cards. If any of them are an untapped land, we're in business. Take the Triome or I'm going to send it. Okay. Close call, but unpunished. I should have waited till their turn for that. I just got so excited. Just spewing off here like crazy. Alright, I'm F6'd. Fable. Land, you're in trouble now. Helix, you're jerk. This jerk can't be scammed. I don't care about it. Bang. Alright, pass. Making our way back in. Now I'm just wondering what happens if I just jam this Isochron Scepter turn 2. They're looting away lands and Furies. Just anything that doesn't answer this Isochron Scepter's gotta go. I'm not gonna fetch. I want lands in my deck. Zagoth Triome. Just ticking up here. They know about this Memory Deluge. I'm about to start burying them. Fable flips here. Fulminator Mage. And I think that's better as a 2/2 than as a Stone Rain here, but whatever. I mean, I guess it's not a 2/2 either because of the thing that I'm doing. Sure, they weren't excited to play that card. Bang! Alright, I'm back to my starting life total. It's like you didn't even do anything this whole game. Secret backup Helix. And the second they stop playing cards into my Helix, they start losing life. Just great for me, no matter what happens here. I would like to find a counterspell or some graveyard hate before they find their Kolaghan's Command, though. Like, answering my Scepter at this point, it's done enough, but regrowing a land that's gonna, or a creature that's gonna kill me kind of sucks. Okay, it's probably time to fetch the Isochron Triome. Discarded Rag and Dothy Voidwalker. Digging madly for whatever it is that they're looking for. We get to send our first upstairs Lightning Helix. Time to start actually winning. Bang. Isochron Triome in. Zagoth is already dead. Big Tef, maybe someday. I can cast Leyline Binding. It just costs 3 here. Bowmasters, fine. Reflections in. I'm going to kill Reflection this turn, not the Bowmasters. I'm still gaining more life than they're dealing every turn with those. And as long as they don't start getting, like, multiple spells or multiple triggers out of every creature they play, I'm fine. Helix that. What is this, like 6, 7 activations this game? Alright, cool. So that comes back as a Reflection, or a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So not bad. If I draw an untapped land here, I can Supreme Verdict all this junk away. No luck. I can Helix the Bowmaster and then cast Preordain. Alright, I think I'm in for that. Helix the Bowmaster. They have another scammer here. That's disappointing. All right, sure. That's back and bigger. And I'm at 28. Finding the land completely rats them. Yeah, I'm going to preordain anyway. I tried. Made an honest run at that. Bottom both of these. Lorien revealed as a land, but not on a time frame I'm interested in. Okay. I go to 26, and then they have some reasonable attackers in play at this point. I like their Saga with a +1 counter on it. Someday when it's a creature, that'll matter. Only discarded one card to the Fable. Is the only job here. Oh wow. Why not attack? Was that just a misclick through combat, or what are we about to learn? Brief, okay. In the third Fulminator Mage, pretty sick here. But still, that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage plus a treasury. That didn't happen. I'm not sure what just happened there. Didn't an opponent do that earlier too? And is there anything... Like, I don't play Settle the Wreckage. There's nothing that, like, destroys target tapped creature going on. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to kill the Orcish Bowmaster right now, though. I want that one gone. Of that, I'm sure. If Fable gets the flip, and it is... Oh, it's not a 3-3? Why not? Oh, because it leaves play, then comes back, right? Yep, that makes perfect sense. That is how the rules work. All right, I'm going to kill the Reflection before they get a turn. It's played... It's turn 16 right now. I've had 2 lands for probably 13, 12, at least 10 of those turns. While my opponent fires on all cylinders. I have to go to clean up this turn. I think that's fine. I'm going to discard the Leyline Binding. No. Spell? What's my discard? Maybe it's just Deluge. That's just not what this game's about. And I'm going to go in their upkeep. This way, if they scam the Grief, it doesn't get to attack this turn. Okay, that's gone. I wonder if I would have won the race if I just went face with like all of these for the whole time. Fury's a really scary one. If that one gets a +1 counter on it and starts scamming me, I'm in trouble. That one can get out of range of my Helix. Maybe someday I'll draw a land. I'm going to clean up the Teferi. That's just not going to happen. And I'm going to scam the Fury right now for the reasons I scammed the Grief and the spot last turn. This one is scary. If it comes back as 4-4, I got a problem. Uh-oh. Well, that'll be back as 4-4. And I haven't had a window to set up Rest in Peace either. So now I gotta hit land drops until Supreme Verdict is live. Land drop, we did it. Okay. There's that one. And going after the army is actually really dangerous because if they have another Bowmaster, it becomes 4-4. So I have to kind of go after their third best creature right now. Beginning of combat. Hit the Goblin Shaman. I take 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I'm actually dead on board. I need an untapped white source right now. I did draw an untapped white source. I go to 2 to cast it. Any scam kills me. Oh, baby. Okay. All in here. Bowmaster kills me. Any scam kills me. I have to hope they have literally nothing and that they don't draw anything. Off their Fable plus loot. Dash Ragavan does it. Oh, wow. This has been so tight. Maybe just don't have anything. They did discard 2 cards. That is not a person who had the goods. Grief doesn't beat me. Not on its own, anyway. Took my Teferi. Oh no, there's more stuff. Stop doing stuff. Fulminator Mage. Okay, that one is actually better as a 2-2 now. I'm quite sure of it. All right, that's fine. All right. Hallowed Fountain. Interesting. I can't shock this in. And I could. It's just... Like, I could Helix first, is what I'm saying. Obviously, like, I can't just shock it in. Okay, and I'm going to go right now with the Helix. Hit the Grief. Okay, that's gone. I'm back up to 5. Their Fable flips. Wow, look who showed up 1 turn too late. Uh-oh. I mean, they have treasures for days. Like, anything that they have here, any card they hit works. So how about you just hit a land? Memory Deluge. Okay. They can look at 4 cards here. Put Memory Deluge into my graveyard. That's definitely worth doing. Yikes, this sucks. That was a big hit. You have a Lightning Bolt in your deck still? It doesn't look like it. Okay, I mean, this can be a red source someday. I have... Okay, Reflection without a creature in play, I'm less worried about. They have to act first here. I haven't seen a flash card in their deck. And I do have Counterspell. This is non-legendary. Okay. Ragavan resolves. I'm going to fight over that with the other Helix. Orcish Bowmaster. That one cannot happen. Helix. I guess it's got to be the Reflection. And they're scamming that. That's okay. That doesn't kill me this turn. If I gain 3 life here, we're okay. Is my Steam Vent still in the deck? It would be really bad to fetch here and not have Steam Vents. I'm at 6. Do have a Steam Vents. I can go to 3. Also zap the Rag. Okay, I'm doing it this way. Okay, so Bowmasters can put me to 2. And then I kill Ragavan during combat with Lightning Helix going back up to 5. In combat, hit that one. Once again, my clock is a huge problem. I don't even know if I can play a game 3. Okay, so they scammed the Ragavan also, which doesn't pick up because it's a new card. It did not get dashed. Orion Revealed. I do still have a basic island in my deck. I would like access to it. Island. Might as well put this into play. Leyline Binding costs 3, so I can deal with 2 things this turn. Holy moly. Wild game. They have 15 cards left in their deck. Down to 13. Blood Moon. Okay. This means I have to do something first. Do I care about Blood Moon in the grand scheme of things? Not really. I'm going to Leyline Bind, take out the Ragavan. Then Blood Moon resolves. Beginning of combat, I'm going to take out the thing that makes treasures. And just F6. I have 4 minutes to run them out of cards, basically. I can still cast Binding, it just costs a lot. I can definitely cast that one. I have a window here to resolve Rest in Peace, cut off a lot of their junk. Cutting off their junk, kind of a messed up way to say that. Stop a lot of their available plays, I guess, is how I wanted to say that. Another Fable. They just don't stop. In combat, I'm gonna go after the Orc army here. By tapping my islands, I did just tell them I have Lightning Bolt, which might have been a bad thing to bleed. Also, if they have a follow-up spell, that's really bad that I tapped out of it. Deserted Beach is a land. Scepter, the Reflection right now. And pass the turn. I can bind the Blood Moon if I care. I don't think that I do, though. 11 cards in their deck, 3 minutes on my clock. The race is on. They did discard the full 2 again. Thoughtseize me. Okay, Lightning Bolt, your jerk here. And Leyline Binding costs 3. I'll cast that too, and then you can lose 2 life to have the counterspell. I actually am going to take the Blood Moon, because I have Fable, or whatever this is. Hall. I guess they probably can't just fire the Hall into all this open mana. They can pay for Ward all day. Oh no, Den of the Bugbear. I've been tricked. Azorius Charm. That's a good one. I can feel Moto starting to lag a little bit, which is the worst time for that to happen. Attacking with Bowmaster. I think it's time to go face. Ooh, no attack. Or at least not at me. Well, who else would you attack? What does that even mean? Okay, they're cracking Polluted Delta. I mean, it's certainly right to kill the Reflection here, though I would kind of like to start winning the game by going to their face. Alright, I think because of the clock I have to go face here. Oh, the no attack was because I have the Hall. Alright, pass the turn. Oh no, leaving them with Reflection. I might regret this, but... And if they activate Reflection, I can Helix that. Dashing Rag. Activating Den. Beginning of combat. I want to let them enter combat. And I don't want to, but I think because of the way I've played, I have to. Okay. Scepter. I am just going to try to kill them, actually. Cool, we got them. They went to copy Bowmaster, now I can put it on top of their deck, stuff all of it. This does mean Ragavan's going to connect, which I don't like. But they don't have any blockers, because that has to show up attacking. I need Rag to miss here, I guess, is the play. Don't Teferi me, bro. Exiled Flooded Strand, we did it. Okay, and I have Activate Hall with protection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's not with protection. Shit. Yeah, I'm just gonna Helix them out with their face. Yeah, I can't protect it. Did I know what the card in their hand was? I don't remember. Dashing Rag. It was 100% right to just kill their creatures, by the way. Like, on all of these recent turns. I just have not been able to do that. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. Orcish Bowmasters. Surge of Salvation. Bowmasters resolves. Dealing 1 to Reflection of Kiki Jiki. That makes sense. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, this comes in as a land. That doesn't actually do what you want. Cool. Got away with that one. Helix, your face. F6. Alright, I need Ragavan not to Teferi here. This is not how you should play this game, but I was going to run out of time. Alright, Rag miss for the win. Exiled Hallowed Fountain. We did it. I don't think there is a thing left they can do here that I'm worried about. Activate, deal 3 to you. Soloed the game from 2 lands. Isochron Scepter holding Lightning Helix. Wow! What a crazy league this was. We beat Scam 3 times, 3 for 3 against Scam. We beat Golgari Asmoran. And we lost to Living End, who got me with a cool piece of tech. I think we were still kind of behind that game, but the 4th Living End, I had 2 answers to in my hand and just tapped out of them. So with either more format knowledge or more careful play, we were flirting with a trophy here. Still put up a 4-1. And also beating Scam 3 times. That's the #1 deck in Modern. That's a good one to be able to beat. And Isochron Scepter really did stuff. This was not a BoshNRoll channel brew where there's like one silly card in a normal shell and it's like technically it's here, but it didn't really do anything. Isochron Scepter straight carried multiple matchups. Turns out that Rakdos Scam not really built to beat Isochron Scepter holding Lightning Helix. They're just inexorable. They cannot get through it, not in a reasonable time frame. Especially if you back it up with literally anything. I am happy with this league. I am happy with how it worked out. I think Silence probably should just be some other card. Lightning Helix was an all-star the whole time. Maybe it should be another Helix. I think 2 is enough Scepters. If you want to play this deck while being extra responsible, the cutesy whatever card is Silence, and Scepter, if you treat it like a 4-mana Planeswalker rather than as an engine, and play 2 of them, I think that's fine. I think I would want a second big Teferi over the 3rd Scepter, and Silence can just be some card that interacts, whether it's Lightning Helix or another Counterspell or whatever. But those are the changes I would make to the deck. The mana felt good, the plan felt good, the Isochron Scepter felt genuinely good. And that's all I have to say about that. It's ended up being a really long, grindy league. Went to clock multiple times, and my brain is goo, but I feel good about what we did here today. Super Gub, super sweet deck. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.